Welcome to LW Storytime. I got one sticky one for you guys where it's just mop buckets upon mop buckets upon mop buckets. This one was in around the 2009 times, was very like about the 4 to 5 years into my washing machine career. And this job here was a washing machine block originally, and then it turned into a kitchen like drainage under the sink, and basically like all the pipes. So hi guys, like stay tuned, we're gonna break this down. So yeah, we came into this whole family situation into the kitchen. The place was like, man, I wanted to put like a whole bodysuit on, put it that way at this time. Like, but a job is a job, right? No judgment, everybody each to their own. But yeah, it was a sticky one, literally. So at this time, like I pulled the washing machine out, and that meaning because the washing machine was far away from the kitchen, we all don't like, as engineers, we hate it when we see washing machines, especially when it doesn't have isolation, cold or hot, or some type of drain outlet, standing pipe. Engineers, you know what I'm talking about. It's a pain in the neck with them extension hose. All right, let's get back to it. So yeah, sort out the machine. It has some blocks in there as well. I think I pulled out like hair bands, children items, toothpick, I remember, there's a couple of coins, stuff like that, the usual. But from the waste hose, from the pump itself, it was like caked up with just like, you know, when oil blocks I get into a thick, due to the part of like the food that they eat, got all clogged and backtracked into the washing machine system. So that means going through the grey hose from the sink unit, traveling back into the washing machine, and they were having that on their clothes. Like, it was one of the craziest things I've seen. Like, you know what I mean? I felt sorry for them. So they need a full drum clean, and I had to take their washing machine away and clean that. So when I came back to deal with the kitchen underneath the sink, back then we had the manual sink unblocker, where you will pull out a rod into the kitchen pipes, and then it will literally bend and you will fight with that. So yeah, I was fighting with that for a good 2 to 3 hours. I remember, you know, I came there about 2-3 o'clock, and I didn't leave until like after 7 that day, and it was like day 1 of the kitchen under sink job. So bear in mind, I've already done the first day of cleaning up the washing machine and bringing it back properly. Everything's working perfectly. Now we're dealing with this guy's kitchen under sink. So we're in job number 2. Like, guys, can you believe it? It was just like mop buckets of just dried fat, ghee, gunk, whatever you want to call it. It was caked like dried sand or cement or something like that before it hits the water. Yeah, I was taking up buckets of them. I was thinking, what's going on in this pipe work? And I'm like, whatever you're doing, please, like, try and use the toilet, or disposing it into a bucket, into the toilet or something like that, where the pipes are big enough to get rid of whatever you're putting down your sink. So yeah, after getting through there, eventually I got most of the things out, and it just kept on going and going and going. We put like 1 shot down in there. We did everything. I remember I was plunging. I worked good 3.5 hours on this, guys, like literally. So yeah, it was terrible. It was a terrible experience. You know when you start a job that you know you should have left, but now you're into it and you can't leave because you know it might, you might actually do it. You know what I mean? And you're too far gone, an hour and a half is gone, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna stuck into the, you know, You know, the wife is pleading with me, like, please, like, I need to cook, you know, I need food, we can't do nothing. So I said, okay, look, I'm going to try. So after a while, blasting all of that with my machine, eventually the water, it filled up, but then it was slowly going down. Like, it was slowly going down. And, you know, the wife, I looked at the wife, she was so happy. But then the husband turned around and was like, oh, it's still filling up with water. And I was like, no, it's filling up with water because you had 4 mop buckets of whatever you call that, you know what I mean? And we went back and forth with the payments. And he actually outright said he wasn't going to pay me because it shouldn't rise up. And I'm like, well, you need to be putting the One Shot or Mr. Muscle Sink-On Blocker, which I recommend, or Dettol Sink-On Blocker. You can use that as well to maintain your sinks, because you have to look after it. You don't want that groggy smell coming back into your sink, where your plates, where you wash, you know what I mean, and then going back into your washing machine again. So I was talking to him on all these great points for him and his family, and he wasn't having it. He was fighting me with the money. I was telling him, like, don't call me again. Like, I don't need customers, you know, who are like thinking I'm gonna come and do a service and then rip them off. So I said, you know what, hold your money, no problem. You know, we don't, it's not even about the money, it's about your peace of mind, it's about using your sink so your kids can actually, you know, eat some food from your kitchen and so forth. So as I'm beginning to leave, the wife came out and paid me at least, you know, a third of the money. And I said to her, like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And I left with the third of the money. And immediately I called my wife, and I was, you know, very, very tired, exhausted. And I told her, look, this is what I've got. And she said to me, don't worry, like, you know, it will work out in the end. And believe me, guys, like, this guy has stuck with me for years. He absolutely refuses to call anybody else but me. This guy has been calling me year in, year out for different jobs, because I went there and I stuck it there and I did the hard work. And in his uncle mind, whatever part of the world that he's from, I call him uncle. He always, and every time I look in his face and go, you remember me? He always looks in my face and go, no, I don't remember you. Every time. And his wife is like, he's always like that. And I'm like, yeah, I know he remembers me. And from time I first went to his house, I've been going to his house all till today, guys. So I hope you guys like the LW story time. Stay tuned in for the next one. Take care.